Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our not so impromptu chat, but we're here today to say hello to each other and to do some reflecting on this week of remembrance and just to hang out and enjoy each other's company. And it's good to see Carrie is already in the house. Welcome, Gary Huffman. Uh, by all means, it was for us that did serve. It was our pleasure and we appreciate that you do recognize that it was something that one does when one has to do it, and we're a tight knit community, and we struggle with our issues and try to get by and try to enjoy families just like the rest of you. But yes, we are very thankful for you guys recognizing, especially those that made the ultimate sacrifice. It's Many of us have lost some very dear friends and comrades, so it's nice that you remember. All right, we all have to do our chores, Gary. Thank you for dropping by. But yeah, I'm just sitting by here. I've been contemplating some of the stuff we were talking about earlier on this week, especially with regards to resources that we try to make available to the veterans and their families. And I'm quite pleased to say that one of the ones that I have been most um, surprised by, because it's kind of come up to the into the forefront of all the support organizations, was the Veterans Association Food Bank. And I have to admit, for something that is designated as a food bank, um, it's much more than that. Uh, uh, they are pooling together all the various organizations that are out there. Thanks, Carrie. Um, so that they can better support veterans and their families. And I had the occasion to actually visit the Veterans Association Food Bank here in Edmonton. They're across the country, but and I know in Alberta here we have both Edmonton and Calgary. And the Edmonton Food Bank was actually kind of surprising to see how not only supportive but how comforting the location was, and what they did to make the those visiting feel comfortable. And I took some snapshots so that I could share it with you guys to give you a good idea just how much this organization is set up to support veterans and their families. So, with that ado, I'll do a brief one here. I'll take slowly but surely go through the photos and share them with you. Okay, first things first. The picture that you have in front of you here is the Royal Canadian Regiment Association, and they have close ties with the Veterans Association Food Bank. But this is quite common for those that belonged in various units to get together after they, even while they're still serving, but primarily those that have retired. And it gives us a chance to have that comradeship and be able to support one another. And the Veterans Association Food Bank was one of those things that really helped make a huge difference. Uh, of course, as you walk in the door, they love their signs, and of course, they've got little things there where you can, on your own, read them over and get an idea of different things that you might be dealing with. I love this blue chart. The blue chart shows the Mefloquine toxicity and PTSD and even TBI, the traumatic brain injury. And it lists them down so that as an individual, instead before you even talk to somebody, you can actually see for yourself whether you have any of the signs or symptoms. And again, they're not professionals, but they direct you to professionals. So it's a good idea to be able to look for the signs and symptoms and try to direct them to get the help that they need, which is a great thing. The other thing that they do is they try to make it so that you feel incredibly comfortable in the environment. Memorials, displays like the one you see in front of you. Uh, it shows, various service people for recognition and for remembrance. Um, and it's just something that a service person feels good to be able to see and and they can relate to it. And this one here, I even see a United Nations insert for a helmet, and that is a reminder. I used to wear those things when I did my UN tours. We're also very big on flags. So the Veterans Association Food Bank has got whole a whole just about every flag you can think of, military related, and of course the national flags and whatnot, and they're everywhere. And again, veterans like I can attest to it. They love their flags. And of course, as you can see, we have a close association with the United States military as well. Many of our members have actually served with the Marines and various. Association. Oh, I'll have to get that back. Sorry about that. I meant to put that on silent. There we go. Yeah, they like putting up all the different flags from all the units that they may have served with or were attached to. Uh, they also go out to various events and activities and promote the food bank. And as you can see here, the displays are actually quite nice. Calgary has even got a thrift store, which is really cool. There you go. There's a really good way of seeing how many how many flags that are in this place. Uh, I don't know. It's just the colors, the reminder that where you belonged. It's all there to make the visitor feel a lot more comfortable. All right. Yes, and of course, there's a lot of people that donate items to the food bank. Hold on, as a matter of fact, it's the food bank that keeps calling me here. I'm going to disappear for a second, and I will get right back to you here. All right. Sorry about that. Here I am. I'm working with the Veterans Association Food Bank, and they didn't know I was doing a live stream today. So as I was saying here, we've got um, a quantity of donations, different plaques and stuff. When a family member passes away that had served, the families quite often donate these items to be put on the walls as a form of remembrance and for something to for those using the food bank are able to take a look and uh, get a little bit of history out of the things that are hanging. They also sport quite a library, and the library they have there again are all donated books. They have couches and they have coffee and they have a spot where individuals can sit down, relax. They even have a TV with a DVD player, and you can watch the movies. And basically, much like the Legion, but I find that this is kind of like the hub of a wheel. You got legionnaires, and you got different regimental associations, and all these other groups, wounded warriors. They all come to this place, and it's a wonderful thing to see. And of course, they have to have their staff. So this is where the staff congregate in the right corner there, and that's where they sit down with those that are requesting assistance, and they can actually direct them in the right direction or help setting up a regular distribution of food and toiletries, etc., to help the individuals out. They even help them with homeless issues, and they have these small houses for veterans as well to get them off the street and rehabilitation and so much more, so much more. So it's I'm quite proud of the fact that Canada has had the wherewithal to. I'm not saying as the nation itself, but the volunteer individuals who put together organizations like this has made a huge difference in supporting the various veterans that are out there that need help. Okay, I'm gonna throw the link up here if anybody wants to do a share or wants to chit chat. Uh, there you go. If you got any stories that you want to share, the only thing I ask if you are talking about things, try to avoid war porn. This is a week of remembrance, and a lot of veterans get triggered when they hear stuff. So, you can share good times, which is totally fine, and stories of how you may have been able to help someone or someone in your family or different situations that you've had to go through. Um, it's it's interesting how people try to find ways of coping with moving into Civvy Street, especially if you've been released on a medical, due to physical or mental issues. So yeah, it's quite good. Um, you're going to find a lot of the veterans get involved in organizations similar to what I'm going to say this wholeheartedly. As you can see, coining arounds in the house, wounded warriors. Uh, see organizations, especially online throughout Canada, the United States, Great Britain, the Commonwealth. Uh, so many people are taking that effort, especially in these days where people are having hard times, especially financially. Uh, Helping out with toys for tots, raising funds for wounded warriors, doing all kinds of great things. And I have to admit that Tupac and William, I admire them greatly for what they're doing down in the U.S. Super uh, fantastic people. Um, People like, and I have to remind, we've got people like Eddie, who's Devil Dog. If you don't know Devil Dog, he is a retired Marine, fantastic guy. Um, Him and his buddy Gary, who goes by Belt Loop. Uh, I love our handles on YouTube. It's just super awesome. They do a lot of help throughout the community, and again, they are people who are like first responders, retired military that have gone through the gambit, and they're helping people wherever they can. Um, they also have found ways of keeping themselves busy, and that's a tremendous uh, thing to do. Uh, okay, what do we got here? Blistering Barnacles Adventures, as always, take care. Uh, I know, again, I'm doing these short live feeds throughout the whole week until November 10th, and on November 11th, I'm off to Wetaskiwin, Alberta, to celebrate Remembrance Day with my friends and comrades out there. For those that don't know Alberta very well. Wetaskiwin's probably an hour and a half's drive outside of Edmonton in central Alberta, and we actually had a World War II veteran, Henry, who passed away here a couple years ago. We used to always go out there and visit with them, but the World War II guys, they're getting few and far between now, and they're getting up. Most of them are well past the mid 90s into their hundreds, and just like we had to go through the ordeal with the World War One guys, slowly but surely it gets to the point where they're not here anymore. So it's up to our generation and generations that come after us to remember what they've done for our countries and keep that in our hearts and in our minds. All right. Oh, it's good to see Christopher Ty there too. My goodness. Yes. Um, so I've been going through a lot of the different things regarding getting ready for the remembrance ceremonies. Uh, those that all that matters is that you show. I mean, uh, you should try if you're in Canada, try to wear your poppy, which goes on the left hand side closer to your heart. Um, you attend these. I don't think I've missed one. My goodness, 50, 55 years at least, where I've always been to one. In fact, I think the first one I ever went on, there was still Boer War veterans on there. So, yeah, I go back. I go back a few years. Um, let's see. Well, take a look, see if we got some other little things that we can show you here. All right. Yeah, the associations are a great thing. The other thing is in the coin collecting community, like myself, as many of you know, I'm not just a collector. I also do displays up with a military theme. And can I've seen some in the Canada and Great Britain that are quite nice, but you get coins that look like this, where this lady here actually helped design the Hawker Hurricane. A brilliant person. They do commemorative coins, and if you want to do a display up, displays are awesome. I mean, they can look like anything. I mean, there's one of my displays for remembering the guys that served in the first Special Service Force, which is uh, very cool. Actually, it was the grandfather of all Special Service Forces in Canada and the United States. It's the only time that Canada and the U.S. actually took all their soldiers, put them all in the same uniform that was distinct from the Canadians or the Americans, and they came under two national flags, but they fought as one unit. And these were incredible individuals, and they expected that they would have at least an 80% loss when they went into battle. And right after after the D-Day landings, they found that they needed bodies, so they split the regiment up and sent them back to Canada and the U.S. Into the ranks, and that really hurt. They kept together as far as having reunions and stuff, but they only served together for a couple of years. But it was a super special unit, and I'm proud to say that I've got to know quite a few of these guys, and I pilgrimage to Helena, Montana, as often as I can to see Fort Henry Harrison and their museum. They treat us very, very well down there. So, what else is everybody doing today? What are you just getting your odds and sods done, or just relaxing around the house, or do you have some special plans that you're going to be doing today? Nick Molnar's now. There's an individual I admire too, Nick. You guys haven't seen Nick Molnar's channel, by all means, go visit Nick and check out the things he does. He has what I like about Nick is that he when he starts dealing with coins, he goes into great detail, and you can pick up a lot of information on specific coins when looking at the stuff he puts up. Oh yeah, Nick just got home from shopping. Oh, I see. And Carrie's coming to visit.
Hi, Han.
Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
Not bad. Guess what I'm doing?
You're on the computer with me.
Yep. And I'm working on this at the same time.
The Duke, John Wayne Marion.
Yep. I'm making it. I'm making it as a gift.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Sending it down to He has a channel on here. Papa.
Papa Giorgio?
No, P-A-W P-A-W-M-O-R. He has a farm page, and he's
Okay, gotcha. So it's Papa Moore.
Yeah, and he also was in the army too.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah. So he collects it. He collects John Wayne stuff.
Yeah, I often go into. I have a collectible store I go into at West Ed that has a whole section on and think of it in this day and age. John Wayne's been gone for quite a while.
Yeah.
The whole wall is different ornaments and plates and knickknacks and clocks and stuff, all with John Wayne on it. The Duke is still a big collector draw. Same with Elvis Presley and some of the other ones. It all depends on what you're into.
Yeah.
John Wayne was cool.
Yeah. I watch all his movies when it comes on the weekend.
Yeah, I haven't watched a good John Wayne movie in a long time. I think Rooster Cogburn, I think, was the last one that I watched with him.
Yeah.
But he's got some great ones, and he goes way back. Yeah, that's the whole thing. You know, when you're trying to keep and you should try to keep yourself busy and find different things that interest you.
Yep, I do knitting.
Yep.
I do crocheting. I keep my hands busy.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm also going to school tomorrow.
Oh, and good luck with that.
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody what it is you're doing?
I'm taking up computer drafting artwork on the computer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm also making logos too.
Ah, cool.
I also made another page for Christmas when I go outside in Scarborough.
Right.
I'm waiting for the two houses to put up their Christmas decorations to take movies on that video of that.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, especially if you have a community that's really big on decorating. If you were to wander out, would make great video for YouTube to check. And I've seen lots of them in previous years.
I just stand on I'm on the 7th floor. On Halloween, I could see this house all the way decoration. You can't take pictures at night, but
Yeah,
it was hard.
I used to charter my own bus when I worked for Edmonton Transit. My family loved it. It was called. I would put up a family Christmas bus right on it, so it was denoted that it wasn't a regular bus. We decorate the inside of it with Christmas lights, and then all the family members and friends would bring in all the cakes and cookies and drinks and everything. Of course, the low floor buses have these lovely shelves you can put everything else on. Then I would pipe in Christmas music through the PA system, and everybody got songbooks, so they could sing their Christmas carols as they're driving along. And I would drive that bus dressed as Santa all over the city to all the hot spots that had the best Christmas displays.
Yeah.
And the highlight was going down to the legislature, and the legislature grounds here in Alberta is absolutely gorgeous at Christmas. And it conveniently has a Tim Hortons, which is one of our coffee places there. Tim Hortons with donuts and coffee and hot chocolate. And everybody would, we would unload off the bus, grab ourselves hot drinks and whatnot, get back on and carry on. And that made, I got some pictures of it. Never did any videos. I wasn't big, into the YouTubing at that time. But boy, oh boy, there's so many things that you can do.
Yeah, if it's on your phone, the pictures, you can make a video of it now.
Oh, I have done stuff in the past.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice though when you actually got it where it's just a proper video, not just pictures put together.
Yeah.
Because it's just not the same, It's okay.
Yeah, I made a video of all my pictures, and it came out really well.
Awesome, that's awesome.
365.
Okay, that's a lot of pictures. I hope you had some background music or something to go along with it so they could watch it.
No, I made it as a gift to all my family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's very nice.
Yeah. On my old computer before it died. Because I put a burnt DVD. Then you gotta have another one to burn the CD. A regular CD. Then you got your burnt one.
Mm-hmm. The other thing you can look at too is besides doing things like what Carrie and I have done in the past, especially those that are in the collecting community, this time of year they're coming out with some really cool coins and stuff that you either collect or give to family. And I'm partial to this one. I wonder why. This is one of the ones that I really get on there. There you go.
I know why you're fond of that one.
Gee, I wonder. Yeah. So, this is an actual coin that Royal Canadian Mint has put out in silver, and they also, this is another one that I love that they put out this year. Yeah, they are super with
They took away the commercials of Coca-Cola commercials with the pen of those poor.
I love those commercials.
Because people thought they were two guys in the suit were making out.
Oh, that's silly.
Yeah.
No,
they weren't.
No, I wouldn't even go there. That's silliness.
Yep.
My goodness.
And another one I'm gonna miss this year. I love the when it comes on Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer, the old movie.
Yeah, the
Dad
claymation
played
ones.
Snowman. He passed away.
Oh, the one that voiced them.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have done that. I mean, uh,
I love.
oh
Yeah, I love when the snowman talked.
yeah. Well, you're talking Burl. You're talking Burl Ives.
Yeah,
Burl Ives was a marvelous singer, especially around Christmas time.
yeah. I love that because I'm a I'm a big kid in the heart, but I'm 57. I'm still like a kid watching kids movies.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm significantly older than you are, and I still like watching them. And I love it when new ones come up.
Yep.
Yeah. Andrew's Northwest Coins, he says, Christmas here on Christmas Eve. Everyone at the church, we bring presents. People hand the presents to the owner on the presents, and on Christmas Day, feast at the high school gym. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. It's getting to that time of year where uh, we can bring out the best in people, because there are people out there that are significantly lacking in support services, and to be able to help them out, it's a wonderful thing,
Yeah.
because Christmas is about giving, guys. It's about giving, not receiving. We giving to gets wrong. Give without expectation, and eventually you'll receive back anyway, one way or another.
Yeah. I'm also I'm also doing an Afghan too. I'm keeping my hands busy.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I
I
wish I had more talent like that. I mean, I've met like people like you and Rebecca and a whole bunch of others, Sheila, and I can name them, tons of them out there that have got this talent, innate talent, to be able to make things.
what gets to me now? I have to go looking for yarn. I'm not joking. They took away stuff up here. They're not making balls big anymore.
I've never seen a ball of yarn that big
Yeah,
before. That's huge.
yeah. That takes a long time for me to do. But they they took it off the shelf. Now I gotta buy half a roll.
Yeah, yeah, and it's quite expensive. I mean, I picked up six rolls of yarn there just last month, and they're $35 Canadian to for just the six, and they weren't the big rolls.
No,
Um,
these one these ones were only $10, and now when I go half the size, they're $5.98.
mhm.
So I have to think. This might be my last year making this one.
Oh boy, too bad.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was it was for a nice lady. No, after I get this done, I'm not doing no more because it's very hard to get the same numbers and stuff.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. The other thing I was thinking about too is the we were talking about cruising around town and different things you can do. Uh, I, we have people that are great with ice sculpting. Have you seen the ice sculptures they do?
I did when I go to school this year.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, some of the stuff is amazing. And
You know when you came up here, did you ever go down to City Hall, the old City Hall?
are you talking about in Edmonton?
No, in Toronto.
Oh no, the old city hall. Oh, boy, yeah, that's
That's
all there was when
that's
I
where
was.
they have the contest.
Is that right?
Yeah, they have to wait till it gets very cold to do the ice.
Oh yeah, yeah. We don't have that problem up here in Edmonton. It's cold for 6 months out of the year at least.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know because the girls who comes from there, you might know the church, Sam, uh, Skipper, not Jehovah's Witness, Latin Day Saints.
I'm not. I'm familiar with St. Paul's, but not the LDS ones down there.
Yeah.
Remember, it's I haven't been back. Well, I have been back in Ontario about 3 years ago.
Oh, they come from that area where you are, and they happy to come down here to work, go door to door.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, having a stock is wonderful. Yeah. She's Rebecca. She did such a nice job on my. Did you see my toque that Rebecca made?
Yeah.
Man, oh man, oh man.
She sits there and do it on people's lives.
Yeah, she worked on mine for 8 hours. Man, 8 hours just for one person.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I got all the stuff right here on this other side to start making hats myself.
Wow.
And
Well,
I'm going to get maybe gray and white and just pen. I get so many done. Maybe next year I hand them out to the homeless people out on the street
that's very nice of you. Yes, they sure can use it.
because they don't want to go in the shelters, Skipper, because they think their stuff gets stolen.
The
That's
problem is, as you know, we're in Canada. Our weather is really bad, especially the further north you go. It's
in Toronto where the City Hall. They're all using the where the train comes up, all the heat
yeah, they do that here.
on.
Yeah, they do that here. We because of the influx with all the folks, especially the ones that, and you must see them in Toronto because you get the bulk of them, the Nigerians. Those folks who are trying to escape Nigeria and the abuses that they were going through there, they've got no place to put them in Toronto. Well, can you imagine coming from Africa and being stuck on the streets of Toronto in the middle of winter?
Yeah.
That's horrible. I mean, we have a homeless problem already.
And they promised to give them money and a house, and they turned around, they couldn't get that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I love what they do up in Alaska, Yukon, Northwest Territories. The Inuit really know how to put on a party. I'm if any of you ever saw, their culture is so unique. I mean, of course, all our Aboriginal folks here are unique in their own ways because we have so many different tribes.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, here's a little. This is a difference between Canada and the U.S. First off, we never call them Indians in Canada. They're First Nations.
Okay.
That's it. They're Aboriginal. They're First Nations, and you never call them a band. If you go on to like if I go to the river to the Enoch Cree Nation, which is 5 minutes away from me here. And if I were to go into their office and call it a band, they'd bring out a cuss box, and I'd have to put money in the cuss box because they consider that calling them a band a bad word. They don't accept that. So, but yeah. Oh, you haven't lived till you've been to a powwow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've been to one. I've been to one because my cousin, my mom's cousin, is a First Nation, and they took us to a powwow.
Yeah, they're well worth going to, and of course, because we're so multicultural here, it's quite often you if you look around, you can find so many different events for different people. For instance, a lot of you don't know Guy Fawkes Night was just the other day. Are you familiar with Guy Fawkes Night?
I think so. I'm not
remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder plot that they had in the UK when they tried to blow up Parliament. Well, the Scottish and the British, not so much the Irish, but the associations, they find a plot of land, they make a big pile of wood, they put a mock mannequin of Guy Fawkes on top of it, they light it on fire, and they sit around the fire eating treacle toffee and hanging out and having a good time. and that's Guy Fawkes Night. Well, a lot of folks don't know that we do that here in Canada as one of the unique things, depending on who you are. The Ukrainians have got an incredible amount of festivities, including in Alberta here. We've got almost as many Ukrainians, I think, as Ukraine has. They have their I have to leave my Christmas tree up longer to celebrate Ukrainian Christmas.
Yep, we do it here too.
Yeah.
Because in our building they have 2 trees. They have to keep it over for so many days after.
Mm-hmm. And look who has shown up. My good buddy Dale. There's the link for you, Dale. Yeah, he's just settling in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I like my code. I always look up things, and I keep my mind education too.
Awesome. Yeah, the thing with our society, we have things called Heritage Days here, and on Heritage Day, every nation that you can think of that come to Canada set up a pavilion, a tent, big tent, and you can go in each one. They put it down in our case, Horlock Park, and you can go into each one of the tents and sample food from the different countries, pick up merchandise and different souvenirs from all the different countries. They put on cultural displays and entertainment, so you can see clogging or sword dancing or whatever the heck else you can think of. They do martial arts exhibits.
Yep.
And they are an absolute blast.
Yep.
So,
we just had one. What was it? Before it got so cold there, we had Junifest, we had Greeka Fest, we had a couple. They had the whole street closed. Nobody's allowed on Danforth.
Andrew says our tribal corporation gives every household everything for stew, soup for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and we receive shareholders' checks before Christmas to help getting gifts. That's awesome. That is absolutely
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the
have
things.
One person to buy this year. It's just me and my dog.
You and your dog.
Yep.
I miss my dog.
You could have hers.
No. I loved my dog to pieces, but the grief was too hard. I don't want to go through that again. That was just too much. So I'm going to keep myself as busy as possible, and my wife and I are going to be doing more volunteering and more activities with the family.
Somebody came to see you, Skipper.
Oh, awesome! And I have a new grandson, one that I've waited 21 years for.
Oh wow!
I'm enjoying that. It's fun. Oh, see, I couldn't do that with my dog because he thought he was a lap dog, but when he got on top of me, I was crushed.
Nope. She sleeps on top of me. I don't move no more. So I lay on my back and that's it. And she's on top of me all night.
Yeah, unconditional love.
Yep. She's my baby.
It's amazing how therapeutic dogs are.
Yeah. And she knows I gotta go to school tomorrow, so she's being so sucky right now. But I don't mind. I spoil her rotten.
Hey!
Welcome, bienvenue, welcome.
How it going?
Uh,
How's it going, everybody? Andrew's Northwest Coins, Christopher Ty, of course me, Numismatic King. Hang on, I'm just going to live chat. Hi, Kerry. How you doing?
Pretty
And
good.
Doggy.
Numismatic King. I always think of a mattress when I say that.
Christopher Ty. I'm pretty sure Coin the Round was in here. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he was around, literally.
Or he could be a bar.
And Nick Molnar actually showed up.
Oh, Nick Molnar was here.
Yeah, Gulf Coast Benny was here. Yeah, we've got people stopping in. It's
The
one of
Irish
those.
good to see. Blistering and Gary Huffman.
It's one of those weird days today because I've got God, what time is my appointment today? I get to talk to a trustee.
Yeah, I was just doing a few things. That's all.
Yeah, this is like I say, once a day, get on for an hour or two, just say hello to everybody. And Iraqi Most Wanted. Oh, the playing cards. I remember they were big. They were big. I wonder who the Ace of Spades is.
Oh yeah. There you go. That's the Ace of Spades.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Well, we know he got it.
Oh yeah. I just want to show you some pretty cool. Oh man, where is it?
Song.
I have something very similar to that. Very, very similar to that.
This is not what you think.
Is it records?
No, it's the VH and
Oh, it comes with
a cassette video recorder.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I shall open it up. And it comes with the D-Day landings 50p coin.
Ooh, that's nice.
And it shows you all the beaches, all the information.
Yep.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Oh my
Not
goodness.
a cool coin.
You hit the big time.
I'm gonna blow you up because I want people
I've just got in. You blow me up.
We're gonna have to blow you up.
blow you up. And, tell everybody all.
Well, all about Operation Sea Lion. Well, do you know what I can't see? These. I don't even know. Hang on a minute. I'll tell you. The Allied Expeditionary Force, the Supreme Commander was General D. Eisenhower. Deputy was Supreme Commander Air Chief Marshal Sir Arthur W. What's his name? Teeter. Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Walker Bendel Smith. Naval Commander Admiral Sir Bertram Ramsey, Air Chief Vice Marshal or Air Chief Marshal Sir Trafford Lee Mullery, and Commander-in-Chief of the Allied General Forces was General Sir Bernard Montgomery, of course. 1.7 million British troops, 1.5 million American troops, 175,000 Dominion troops, 44 troops of other allied nations, 1,300 warships, 1,000 merchant ships, 4,126 landing ships and craft, 12,000 aircraft, including 5,000 fighters, 4,000 bombers, and 3,500 gliders. Utah Beach was hit on 0630 hours, assault divisions of the US 4th Infantry and US 11th Corps. Omaha Beach at 6:30, assault division, US 1st Infantry, US 29th Infantry, US 5th Corps, plus 2 battalions, 2nd, 5th, and the Provisional Ranger Force. Gold, 07:25 a.m., assault division, British 50th Northumbrian Infantry Division, British 30th Corps. Because they did this in Roman numerals, so at the count, was delayed for about 10 minutes. They hit the beach. Was supposed to be at 7:35 a.m. It was hit 7:45 by the Allied divisions. Canadian 3rd Infantry Division, British 1st Corps. Sword was 7:25. Was British Infantry 1st Corps plus commanders of the Special Forces Brigade. The successful assault on the 5 landing areas, the fierce battles of Normandy followed the Allied breakout into France and led to victorious liberation of Paris on the 25th of August. By September, most of France was free. That was that card there. So, it's one of my favourite coins. Absolutely a beautiful proof coin. Is it brilliant or is it proof?
Very nice.
But
Of course, you got me as soon as I saw the coin. That's like, okay.
Yep. He got me on that one too.
Well. You
yeah,
know,
pretty cool.
it's interesting that you brought that up because one of the things that D-Day is one of the more interesting battles that went on, and I got one from the Imperial War Museum.
Oh, very nice.
Okay. Richard Holmes did this one, and of course it's I don't think it's quite as you had me as soon as I saw the coin, but it's a lovely little package, and it's got all these wonderful little things inside to take a look at, including maps and
Oh, fantastic! I love all the little illustrations they provide, and
got all kinds of neat little things in here. So
the thing is, they're so delicate. You don't want, because obviously I've got quite a few books similar to that. Like, in fact, I actually had a really nice Spitfire book, didn't I? And I gave it to an old Spitfire pilot, didn't I?
Yeah.
He loved that.
check this out. They even include a pilot's flying log.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that you.
So it's got his flights, his time he took off.
Yeah, which I thought was very cool. But that was.
I had a similar kind of book, but it was a Spitfire book, and it's all to do with the Spitfire, where it was made, obviously at Vickers and Supermarine, and he wanted something similar, and I gave it to him for a birthday present, didn't I? He was what, 90 something?
This is my D-Day remembered one.
Oh, nice!
And these things are they're massive. I mean,
Look at that! That'll do so scary stepping off one of them, won't it? You had no protection.
yeah,
Blockades.
it's a challenge just getting it out of the box. But again, it comes with all the different photographs and details, the planning, all that stuff. And of course, it's got all the neat little inserts.
Beautiful. Those books are so good.
Yeah, I spent hours looking at this stuff and studying the details because it was quite complicated. But mine's lacking something. It didn't have a bloody coin in it. Now that would have done it.
All because of this guy, right?
Yeah.
You see that in a minute when you pop me up?
I am. No. Come on, get up there. There we go. Oh, dear. I'll be happy because of Mr. Schickelgruber.
Mm. Do you know why his stamps were readily available.
Yeah, because they continued using them after the war was over.
That's exactly correct. They had no, because Germany was split up into 4 and they didn't know what to do with the mailing system. They let them on for another year until they had their own specific stamp. So, yeah. What else have I got in here? There's a lot of sets I need to finish off.
You figure.
I haven't got the coins in there, but that's the books we remember. Or the one, got 2 of those. I've got to finish the sets off of them ones. Oh yeah, and this one. This is actually one I want to finish off. And look at this. This is the coin, because the coins are out the books, by the way. So the coins are out the folders for some reason, because I just got out one of my cases. So
Vera Lynn.
yeah, look, we're again. Look.
Don't know where, don't know when.
The coins fell out.
Oh, the coins are gone.
They're in the case. I owned this case up for years. So, oh, actually, I've got a coin here. What's this one? Oh, it is the voice of Vera Lynn. Here's one of them, anyway. There's one in the box. I'll put that back. What's this one? There's that one here. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm pretty sure this is the beach as well.
I don't know. I either have cataracts or I
1939 to 1945. Can't remember what year this is. 2019. This is a half crown. What's the other one then? What's the half crown as well?
Because we're talking D-Day landings. What famous actor actually was in D-Day and actually lost fingers during landing? And he never showed, when he was on film, he never showed his one hand because of his missing digits.
Was it John Wayne?
No.
Cary Grant?
No.
No. I know this.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
I did too, and now I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I remember reading it. I just can't picture it.
Let me give you a hint.
Let the chat have a go. Let the chat have a go.
He worked in an engine room.
Like, wasn't Uncle Albert, was it?
Let's see. He's Scottish.
Oh, not Sean Connery.
No.
He's too young.
Got a Scottish accent in his series and the movies. Worked in an engine room.
Was he out of Star Trek? Someone from Star Trek.
No.
She's right.
See?
Oh, was it from Star Trek?
Yes.
Oh, was it Scotty?
Scotty, James Doohan lost digits
I didn't notice.
on the D-Day landing.
That's probably why I never noticed. I've heard of something similar, but I don't know. I didn't realise it was him. When you said he worked in an engine, I thought, oh yeah.
He was an engineer. Worked in the engine room.
What's this one?
Yeah.
Crown.
I wouldn't know who it was.
Our Darkest Tower.
Yes, they're done.
And he was in The Next Generation as well.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and the episode's name was Relics.
That's right. That's right. Because he annoyed Geordie, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Well, more likely, Geordie was annoying him.
And actually, this is a set I want to finish off.
Oh yeah,
Waterloo.
Waterloo.
This is a hefty coin. This one.
Thick coins.
That's magnesium.
Interesting.
Bless you. Another one of those. Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Hiccups.
Nice. Actually, just a few years ago, the British government did a wonderful job. I forget which castle they did it, but they did the poppies. I could have been the Tower of London. They did the poppies like a waterfall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, down the side of the castle. It was and went down and into the land underneath. Looked very cool. Those are lovely.
I
Those
love those.
They're outstanding. Those ones. No, that's not who I wanted to see.
We've got the Raid of Remembrance. I can't see. The Raid of Remembrance. From Freedom Land to the Poppy Grow, Rise of the Challenge. So it's all the like main wars and the Night of the Body Armor. So yeah, it's like you got the Lancasters and all the three main planes going over. Then you got like the fields, World War One. Then you got obviously the helicopter. I think that's the Iraq War. Then you got Afghanistan.
That's a nice set.
And for some reason,
Well, I can understand why you and I hang out so much because we got the same bloody interests.
Absolutely, that's right. That Spitfire's taking a nose. That one here, right. This one here's taking a nosedive. It's spun around in the. But that's the actual artwork of them anyway. And they're not photographs; they're actually paintings. And they're paintings of this guy.
I was kind of surprised when I learned like how many of the old World War II aircraft are actually still airworthy, and we're getting down. We're getting really the ones that are probably the most prevalent Hawker Hurricanes. Lots of them compared to the others. Not too many Spitfires or Messerschmitts left.
No. I think the only real workhorse from World War II is the DC-3, I think. Because a lot of them,
they flew for years and years and years.
They're still being used today in Canada, aren't they? DC-3. And the last official flight of the Lancaster, I think, was 1950 something. And a lot of the B-17s were turned into commercial flights for a little while. but the DC3 took over. The Shackleton, which my dad worked on back in the day, they were still used for submarine surveillance up until the Nimrod took over, which is basically a comet that's still being used today. And that was up until late 50s, early 60s.
Alexander just went on a tangent here. He's talking about the Queen of Scots. And,
Mary Queen of Scots.
Yeah, I guess that was because we were talking about the poppies at the Tower of London. Yeah, I think she was in the tower, wasn't she?
No, she wasn't.
No,
Where was she? No. She was. I can't remember the name of the castle now, but she was never in the Tower of London. Because Elizabeth didn't want to near her. They never met.
Oh.
So Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded. The castle's now a ruin. She was beheaded. I can't remember the name of the castle now. But King James I, her son, I don't think he actually met her either, or he sent the letter. But the warrant was signed by Queen Elizabeth I, but they never actually met. I'm not sure because she stayed for almost 20 years imprisoned into this castle, but it's a ruin now. But technically, she was closest heir to the throne of Mary. Well, Mary is closest to the throne, but who knows what went on really back then. John Jacobs. I'll have a check because I'm pretty sure she wasn't at the Tower of London. I'm pretty sure. I'll have a look because I can't.
We watched the YouTube.
Yeah. No, we watched that thing, didn't we? But I don't think she was. She was imprisoned at. Yeah, she was only 47 when she died. So, Forvington Hay Castle. That's where she was killed. Born the 8th of December 1542, Lithlow Place, Linthgrow, and died on the 8th of February 1587 at Fovington Hay Castle. Yeah, that's the castle today. That's where Mary Queen of Scots stayed. Yeah, probably, in memory of Mary Queen of Scots, beheaded in the Gate Hall of Fotheringay Castle on the 8th of February 1586-87. This is the memorial place here by the Stuart History Society in 1964.
I wasn't even born yet.
That's probably what the castle. So you had the keep. That's probably where she was. That's probably where she stayed there. And this is probably the English would stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is typical of a Norman castle. So
Lovely.
but who knows? I wasn't there. Thank God.
Well, if you were, you're looking very good.
I know it's sort out, like beeswax and what do you call it? Mercury they put on your face and.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the slugs.
The slugs, yeah, the slugs and the snail poop.
Yes, Alexander, that's why we do it too. We love coins because you love history. Well, that's
Absolutely.
the thing, right? And look, Carrie's thinking, yeah, I like history too.
I love
Actually,
it.
castles were very, very cleverly designed because when they went to, let's say, the what do you call it? The privy is what it would be called. They actually would have had hay as a seat, and it would be designed to actually go straight into the stream. It would come out, and it'd be like this down
Oh,
the side of the castle.
Didn't a lot of them, run right into the moat?
Not the moat, the stream, because the moat was smelt like really bad. But the moat would have been more a defense. But it would have gone straight into the stream. But there was a guy. If you ever see like little holes outside of a castle wall, that was for like putting pegs in or dogs in, whatever you want to call them, and they would literally hang from there. And then you have these, let's say, either prisoners or whatever they did, would clean the side of the castle. So when all the special guests would be going down the side of the castle,
Yeah.
and each room was designed, depending on your status. Each room was designed so the holes, it'd be like that sort of thing. So as it would go through, it would go down the side of the castle designed to actually go into a stream, or it'd be like a runoff. So it'd be like a permanent waterfall, basically. That's a Roman invention, like an aqueduct.
Didn't the king have an individual they called the Lord of the Stool or something?
He was basically, it was the most highest paid and highest privilege to be. It's master of the stool.
Master of the Stool, yeah.
He would be the most, because he was up close and personal with the monarch, or she would be up close and personal. It was more of a privilege to be the master of the stool, and it was, say, a maid, or what they call it, so like a lady in waiting and stuff like that, because that's the sort of thing you don't see, or whatever the men would call it. I don't know what the kings would call it. I don't know, best friends. I ain't got a clue. But master of the stool was the personal bit, and they used to use geese to wipe their bottoms with.
Geese,
Geese.
not live geese.
I don't know. I know it's geese, so I don't know whether it was feathers or it was
foul or what.
Yeah, it'd be very foul. But yeah, it was geese, or it would be hay, I guess. Whatever, really. I don't know.
It wouldn't be the male goose because he wouldn't be allowed to look because he couldn't gander at the royal parts.
Well, I felt sorry for I don't know which is worse, having your arse wiped by the master of the stool by a geese, or the geese itself.
Well, if it was alive, it could have repercussions for the poor master of the stool.
Well, just think they would kill it and eat it afterwards. So.
Oh.
Well, it was their thing, wasn't it?
Oh.
It's true.
Zoe,
It's true.
you hear him?
Yes.
I mean, I like a good joke, but that one.
I wouldn't say geese. It wasn't many. I don't know, but it's like goose is probably the right word.
You still don't wipe your ass with it.
Well, I wasn't there. I wasn't born in the blinking 1100s, so I don't know.
How did we get on
How did
goose?
we get onto this stuff?
This guy.
Very uncouth.
I'm shocked.
He likes asking the. Just make sure the goose is not facing the wrong way.
I'm bloody.
That's where the word pecker comes from.
God.
Austrian stacker.
Austrian stacker, you are in the chat. Don't eat too much food or you will get real fat.
Just like Santa Claus.
Oh, actually, what they would do, they would get the neck of the goose and use the neck because with a live goose.
Of live goose.
A live goose.
It was a live goose they used
Yeah.
to wipe his bottom.
Yeah,
By
the
rubbing
master store
neck.
would hold the goose, I guess, like this, stretch its neck and go,
Oh,
It's worse, isn't it?
I'm so. Yeah, and I wish I lived in the old days. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
No.
That's what I said, that's where the word pecker comes from.
What? Oh,
Please, sir, can you bend over?
yes, dear. We're having the royal goose. Make sure it's a good
What's
one.
for dinner? What's for dinner?
We're having goose.
Oh, man.
I
See?
love coins. I love coins too, Austrian Stacker. You got to get him off the goose kick here. It's terrible.
Flock alert. It's the guy who's got to chase it. Imagine like Rocky, who's chasing after a chicken. I just got to get the Andrex for the king. Hang on.
This conversation has stoked up John Jacobs. You just listen to this poor butt.
Flock alert. Flock alert. It's Alex's fault. He got onto this.
It is Alex' fault. Let's blame Alex. He's got wide shoulders.
Yep.
Anything else you want to know about a castle? Because they ain't got a clue. I don't know.
Goodness gracious.
It's not our fault that we was invaded by the William the Conqueror, thanks to I can't remember his name now. Not Harold, the other one. His cousin. He went over to France and got.
Oh, you mean the idiot that went north and
Is it Tugwid? Tugwid or something like that?
yeah, something like that?
I know it's one of them. It's either a cousin or a brother. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah,
I think it was his
William the Conqueror came over. I fed geese, but worse when in a pack. They're fierce, especially when hissing. Yeah, I'd have had a hissing fit if I was if I was toilet paper.
Oh, I need to go past me.
This is knowledge I'm not sure if I want.
Yeah, exactly. It's just this brain has got some crazy stuff.
I mean, now every time I say Christmas Carol and they're talking about a Christmas goose, I'm gonna gag.
You're never going to look at toilet roll and say, like, you're going to be so happy you live this day with toilet paper, right?
You know, those used to be geese.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I won't watch Cruise anymore. The songs in there says goose.
This is why I can never be a monarch, because it's all the food they have to try and eat in different countries and toilet behavior. No, thank you.
I'm sure glad we're a little more civilized.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad enough you Brits used to throw your waste out the windows.
Yeah, if you ever go to the Shambles, I think
Yeah.
it's in Nottingham. Is Brisbane Barnacles here? Because I think he would know the Shambles. I'm pretty sure
I think he left.
William the Conqueror came 2 by 2 and left him over the hill. What?
I love it when Alexander puts something up and you go, what? What?
William the Conqueror.
Can I read that where it
And
makes
then
sense?
over the head. Hit him
The,
over the head.
the only way you can say this is with a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
And then it might make sense.
I lost my Irish accent.
Really?
Yeah,
Where'd you lose it to?
English.
Lost it to the American accent.
I used to
like
go
my brother.
visit my family in Toronto, and they always claimed that I had an American accent because I lived in Windsor, which is actually south of Detroit. I had to figure that parts of Canada are actually south of the United States. But then again, a lot of people don't realize that Canada is in between the United States, right smack dab in the middle. Are
Yeah.
you aware of that?
I know it's crazy between Alaska
It's
and
there, and there's the U.S. up here, and the U.S. is down there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
just think you were top, but now you're middle.
I'm always top. Just I have to move east a little bit.
Yeah, he comes down into Edmonton, then he goes up north and after the 11th. He moves to North Pole.
Yeah. He's going to be up there for a few weeks.
Yeah.
A few
He's
weeks.
going to be feeling those chills. But mind you, actually he's only up there for a few days because the rest of the time he's actually out delivering presents.
Well, you know, like, come on, you're throwing me into my other character. You're not supposed to do that today. My cousin, Chris Kringle, he has a staff that does all the work. And he delivers.
Yeah. You just take over the easy part, didn't you?
This coming from a guy that turns into a cookie at Christmas.
I'm going to wear that again. I'll give you.
His elf costume. His head looks like a cookie.
I got to see it this year.
I'm waiting for him to lie down on the couch, and Zoe going, "Oh, that looks like a nice cushion."
Hey, that's how my head got flat in the first place.
So you're good under pressure then.
Yeah. Mind you, it's like I look like a coin. I'll find it. I mean, I'll just find one. Hang on a second.
Oh, thank goodness we got somebody that is going to bring some sanity into our conversation. Oh, thank you, History Man. Oh, you saved me.
Why? Why is that?
Because we were talking about wiping your butts with geese.
I never said a
Okay.
word.
Yep. No. Yeah. You could say that. There you go. You could say that.
There you go.
Hey,
What
That
is
was
that?
last
Is
year.
that, is that Skipper?
What is
that,
Skipper?
that was last year.
What is that? I
Is
don't
he
know.
trying to be? I
That was
don't get
last
it.
year.
Like, what is
Oh,
that?
that's
Like,
so funny.
That's my yearly bleaching. He's being a
well, I don't know
smart
what you were doing.
aleck.
Okay.
That would look torturous.
It was. It was. Try.
Hey, John.
There's his cookie head. Unbelievable.
I'm trying to play the battle chat game without. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I couldn't see.
Unbelievable.
Okay. So
It was
in that,
interesting. Yes. One of my daughters. Second window, I think.
These ones. Yeah. So my what's the seventh thing?
How you doing, History Man?
I'm doing okay. It's been a afternoon. Well, I just woke up this afternoon. That's why, and I'm waiting for now it's out for delivery. I'm waiting for an Argentine police hat that my friend gave me. So waiting for that to come because that'll be nice to have in my collection here. On my left, this is my Argentina spot, literally right here. So that's pretty great. So I'll put that in there.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm pretty much an Argentina fanboy, basically. But but yeah, I have like a whole spot for that. So I have that, and pretty much nothing really else. It's just like the same old, pretty much, day as usual. I'm pretty much probably gonna count the coins until cataloging some coins until like my grandmother just gets off the computer, and then not really get off the computer. We're pretty much not using the TV, so I could like play a little bit of games, and then just like and then check the mail, and then later on that's it pretty much.
So just chilling out today, then, really.
It's a
Okay.
chill out day pretty much. So,
My
then tomorrow.
This is not my chill out day. This is this year's.
Yeah, I don't.
And there's my transformation. There you go. I didn't get my hair as white as it did last year. More like platinum.
Oh, you're doing your hair. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
That's. Oh, that was funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, you do what you have to do.
Yep.
Oh, I did go to Cabela's yesterday, and I checked out my
Quebec?
my
You went to
my
Quebec?
steak. No, Cabela's. Cabela's is a camping.
I know what it is. Yeah, camping place.
Well,
Yeah.
they're using me. Oh yeah, there it is. They're using me for Santa this year, and I had to check out, see where my change room was and what kind of setup I had, and my helpers. Really nice.
That's nice.
But I wanted to post the Santa transformation video from Beauty Salon last year on the Tribes channel, but I couldn't find it fast enough. Oh, chocolate peanut butter popcorn. And do you know I've got this coin here for the 9/11? I don't know if anybody saw this. This is my challenge
Yeah,
coin
I
for
gotta
9/11.
see these coins soon.
I think this one has Pearl Harbor in the back.
Well, the ones I want to keep, yes, I do, and I have a lot.
Which is got the Arizona.
Yep.
Was that Pearl Harbor? Yeah.
And then you've got 9/11 on the front.
So it talks about like the three, like it's not like a medal that talks about like three, how would they
Yeah,
say,
probably
like American
the worst
tragedies.
Yeah, the worst two tragedies that was on the homeland of the United States.
Yeah.
Because there is actually a bit of irony here, right, with these two tragedies. Because Pearl Harbor, it was very relaxed, and the same as with the airlines back then were relaxed. And obviously, there's more security these days, and
What's gonna?
and that's they took the advantage,
Was a tragedy, but I felt like it was, was going to happen. The tensions
Well, it
between
was
America
also an
and
attack.
between
It
the
was the attack in 1999, wasn't it, or something like that? 1997, 1999, or something like that. The first attack. I can't remember what year. I know it was in the 90s. But
sometime in the
I
90s. I don't remember exactly when.
But as we're coming up to Remembrance Day, I thought I'd just skip it because obviously he's got a family member on the Arizona.
Actually, the tragedy is two members of my family from Illinois were actually in the U.S. Navy and serving aboard the Arizona. The brothers' names Bernard and
Is it
James.
me or is it
And and they back in those days it was quite common to have groups of people who enlisted together, and they kept them together, including families. Where some units, well, you saw the movie Saving Private Ryan. Well, he had all four of his family were in, and three of his brothers were killed, and they decided to get him out of there, and they did. Well,
Yeah.
that is not uncommon, and that's based on fact.
Yes.
And Bernard and James were
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
on board the Arizona when it went down. So I got two family members that are actually in the Arizona, and so our ties with the United States are pretty tight because half my family is American, the other half is Canadian, and it's one of the places where I would like to do a pilgrimage to actually see the memorial one of these days.
Do you know what? It's, I mean, building up 10 years prior to 9/11, 10 years to Pearl Harbor. The backstory is Japan at the time was short of steel, so the Americans supplied the steel that what probably made the battleships and the planes, the Zeros, that attacked Pearl Harbor.
You know,
I can't remember the name of the treaty, but it's a scrappage treaty. But it's a possibility that could have happened.
well, hold on. You're like cutting out like too. I couldn't hear the entire thing. But isn't it
sorry.
But it was about, you said steel?
Yeah, steel. Japan didn't have any way of getting steel. So about 10 years prior to I think it said 9/11 to Pearl Harbor, the Americans supplied
31.
the metal,
Okay.
to Japan, and also they promised that they wouldn't attack America. That's where the Doolittle raids came from. Obviously, after that.
I gotta read on that. Yeah, I gotta read on that
The Doolittle raid?
because from what I've known, from what I've read about.
But the metal. I can't remember what the treaty was called, but Japan couldn't produce steel, so they needed all the scrap steel they can get. America supplied steel. 10 years prior to Pearl Harbor. So it's a possibility that they made the planes, and because don't forget they were facing China at the same time. So there was obviously you had the what was the massacre called? Japan went in there and massacred a load of Chinese people. Oh, what's it called? There's a massacre about 3 years prior to World War II. 2 or 3 years prior. It's terrible. It's one of the worst massacres in human history. Probably since the Japanese. Up till then, and obviously then you had the Holocaust. So I can't remember what the massacre was called. But everything has
the Nanjing Massacre, but okay.
Yeah. And that's where they made the guns, the ships, the weaponry, and other things. So,
but here's the thing: I was, from what I've known, and I've read a book called, it was about John. It was the author was John Tolland, I think, and he was talking about and he was an American researcher, by the way. And he was talking about how pretty much the tensions between that. I mean, yeah, you're right on that one. But from what I've heard is like the tensions between that is that when I think was one of them was when Japan fired an American ship near Shanghai. I forgot what it was, but there was high to that because they mistaken to a Chinese ship. And then another one too was because of the oil embargo. Is that like from what I've known?
Yeah, it says, I'm just recapping. The United States was the main supplier of the oil, steel, iron, and commodities needed by the Japanese
Yes.
military. It became bogged down by the Chinese resistance. But in January 1940, Japan abrogated the existence of the treaty commerce with the United States. I think they cut it off as well. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt made one of those escalating moves in 1940 when he cut off the shipments of scrap iron, steel, and aviation fuel to Japan. Even allowed American oil to be continued to flow into the empire. So yeah, it was like the path.
But just
like the
airplane
path
fuel.
to because everything has. It's like it was a civil war for the German pilots against Spain. So that's because they weren't allowed to have a very big navy or air force after World War One. So they trained their pilots when they faced Spain. So everything has a backstory, everything leads up to something else.
Of why, what happened.
Yeah, why and when,
Right.
and when sort of thing.
Of like why happened, of what happened,
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a very, very long time, but it was, absolutely tragedy, big tragedy. But I mean, what is interesting? Do you know why the Arizona was left? I don't know if you know this.
Austrian just fell asleep.
Did you know why? Did you know why the Arizona was left?
He fell asleep.
Because it wasn't in the way of the harbor, and that's why it was. Because how they would right the ships after the attack, they would weld poles or steel rods, and then they mechanically screw the ships over, and then empty and pump all. A lot of them were refitted, went back to war again, but because they needed men to go and fight, they left the Arizona, and it wasn't blocking the entrance to the harbour. That's why it was left and where it was situated. Otherwise, it would have been lifted up.
It's not break since I click it.
It's good to see your internet's still working well.
What did I?
He's like breaking up
He's
most of the
breaking
time.
off and he flew off. And then he came back on.
Oh, it does that sometimes.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
When Dale gets excited, it's just like, okay, what are we going to talk about now? Let's do this. Yeah.
Right, now for part two.
Now
Well-
part two.
Well, I'll tell you the good news, Dale.
Yeah.
That I have to be offline in 20 minutes because I have an appointment. So you can talk to anyone you want afterwards, but you got 20 minutes on.
No, you carry on. I said my piece now.
You said your piece. Oh, Austrian Snacker, you heard that. He said his piece.
I said my bit. I've done my war history for this episode.
Yeah.
What?
You were there.
Skipper.
Falling asleep can be dangerous, especially for someone that's a retired military. Should I say? Of course, he's still on the sub list. Let me tell you about a time when I fell asleep.
Oh.
When he was flying the plane.
Okay, no. I was on a military exercise in Camp Ipperwash in Ontario. And Camp Ipperwash is located in a sandy area on Georgian Bay, on each side you had Kettle Point on one side of it and Grand Bend on the other. And atypical, we were doing the exercise in the middle of summer, and along the beach, beautiful sand, but huge sand dunes, absolute huge sand dunes. But when you go in behind the sand dunes, you got these little prickly bushes that grow out of the sand, which are very uncomfortable to try to go up on the sand dunes, especially in bare feet. Bad thing. The beach was covered with people lounging in their bathing suits, enjoying the sun and the waves. It's a beautiful place. But in behind where we were having our military exercise was at that time military land. So we had just moved into the area, and we got up on the sand dunes. We decided to do a defensive position. That means a lot of digging, by the way, Dale. So we dug up these trenches, typical trenches like 4 foot long, 6 foot long, 4 feet deep, 2 feet wide. You had to put a sump in. You had to, do some revetting and whatnot, whatever we could get a hold of, because we didn't have corrugated iron at the time. So we built these trenches, made a defensive position. And this is not the one with the deer. Okay, I'm not going to tell that one. This is the one where the one where. Okay, that one there is worse than the goose. I'm not going to go there. So we get into our defensive. I have my rifle with me. I have my sleeping bag. I'm ready. We had blank ammunition. We had pair of flares, artillery simulators. We had thunder flashes for fake grenades and all this stuff. It was a war game. So it was, for me as a young buck, this was a lot of fun. So we're in the defensive position. Some warrant officer saw that I had left my sleeping bag out, and he forgot his.
Oh, no.
So he grabbed my sleeping bag. It's his fault. It's his fault this happened. Now, you got to remember, too, we now also have WD-1 wire running all over the place. And yeah. So this warrant officer stole my sleeping bag. Anyway, we had WD-1 wire, and we had the old crank phones, hey, how you doing, Anyway, I was in my trench, and as the night went on, it got colder and colder and colder, and I was tired, and they had those prickly things in the sand, so I couldn't lean against the trench, so I had to stay standing upright in the trench. Couldn't do anything, had to be on watch, and I started to fall asleep. Okay, and I'd fall asleep, hit the pricklies, and go, okay, that's no good. I did it again. And after about 3 or 4 hours of this, I fell asleep and realized I wasn't in my trench anymore. I was sleepwalking.
Oh.
I didn't even have my rifle. So I'm walking along the top of this defense position, which is on a big sand dune, and my officer in charge, he was a Lieutenant Ryan, Garney Ryan. He looks up at me and he goes, "Private, what are you doing?" And it woke me up, and I didn't know what to say. I said, "I'm going to the can, sir." I took a misstep, and I fell, and I rolled all the way down in the communication wire, all the way down to the bottom of the hill, and all I could hear was that voice of his laughing his brains out. But this idiot private has just rolled all the hill. So I lied there for a bit, tried to compose myself, figuring out, oh gosh, I'm going to get in so much trouble. I don't have my rifle with me. I'm at the bottom of the sand dune. I'm not sure where I'm at, but I know that wasn't my lieutenant. I'm screwed. So I moved over a little bit, and I went up, and I started heading up to the top. And of course, what's the one thing that I forgot? The challenge. I forgot the challenge. So the guy challenged me. I can't even say that it's inappropriate to challenge, they said. But he said one part of the challenge. I couldn't say the other part. All of a sudden, the fireworks went off. We had paraflares. We had rounds being fired. This is blank rounds. So it looked like World War II going up, all this stuff going on, and I rolled back down to the bottom. Like, I'm lying there shaking, going, I'm really in trouble now. So I crawled all the way as far over as I could, made my way up, trying to remember the password to this day. I still remember it. I'll tell you offline. So I got to the top, the challenge, and the guy that challenged me goes, "What were you doing?" I says, "I fell asleep." but you were Yeah, I was sleepwalking. Oh no! Who sleepwalk in a defensive position? So I get back, and thank goodness they found my rifle. I'd left it in the trench where I had dug myself in. And I stayed up I was so wretched by the morning. And of course, the warrant officer comes toddling over in the morning, should have left it out, and gives it back to me.
Did you read what Austrian Stacker said? He goes, "Why did you dig? I always had a couple of NCOs to dig. I always had a couple of NCOs with. Well, he's off for that basically, but
I was a private. I was a private. I wasn't an NCO. Why did you dig? He was a friggin' officer. My officer was too busy laughing his butt off because of the private that fell down the hill. I'm telling you.
That's what they call him, the Grand Old Duke of York. He had 10,000 men, and after he got halfway up the hill, Skipper rolled up down again.
We have ships in the prairies. We call them prairie schooners.
Ain't that the movie? That should be a movie, Skipper.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to star in it because I wouldn't want to look like an idiot.
Say Private Ryan.
As far from Private Ryan as you can get.
See, Skipper wrote the manual on not what to do.
Oh, you're telling me. Oh my goodness.
I mean, he jumped out of a helicopter and left a big cartoon imprint of him in the snow.
We did stuff I'm not proud of now. Thank goodness the statute of limitations is up. We did some stuff that was pretty bad. I mean, during the FLQ, you know what the FLQ crisis is?
No.
The French Liberation du Quebec. The Q crisis. Back many years ago, there was a group called the FLQ decided that they wanted to separate Quebec from Canada, and they took Pierre Laporte and British diplomat hostage, and they were armed. And at that time, our prime minister, which was Pierre Trudeau, declared martial law. So the whole country went under martial law for something that was going on in Ottawa. Okay, it was the whole country. Suddenly, you lost all your rights. This is before the Charter of Rights. You had no rights. It was basically he turned himself into a dictator. So here we were called out, and we were sitting around the armory and twiddling our thumbs. Nobody was ever. There's a big curfew on. We had absolutely nothing to do. People could be arrested just for walking down the street, and we didn't even have to tell them why. It was a bad time. My buddy and I decide, hey, we're bored. Martial law is on. Let's have some fun. I would never do this today, folks. It's something only an idiot would do when we're a young private. We wandered over to the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, and we kicked the customs guys off their job and just for fun decided to check vehicles. There we are ransacking all these cars looking for. We never took anything, just for something to do. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why did we do that? If we would have gotten caught, I would have been court-martialed anyway. Yep. That's the sort of things. Of course, they can't do that now, but it was bad.
We were still talking about
Just a put. Oh no.
Oh, you're on the other side of the planet, so you slide down.
This would help.
They're still talking about it. About Quebec.
Austrian stacker. I was fine on. I was fine on ships. I was fine on ships as long as they were Lakers or fishing boats on the Great Lakes. Not and the one lake I would never go on, is the Lake Superior. Suddenly it's become very quiet. What's happened there? Oh, he disappeared. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, because my family have got a long history of sinking in ships. As you know, 2 cousins went down to the Arizona. I've got one member of the family that fell out of the gene pool in the RMS Titanic, 3rd class passenger. So I got one of my family down there. And then I got another one that was actually served on board the flagship with Admiral Nelson, and he became Captain Edward Zeeland, his name was, and he was a famous captain as long as he stayed in salt water. But when he settled in the town of York, it actually became Toronto. You probably could even Gary, you probably find his grave there because that's where he's buried. He became the Commodore of the Yacht Club. Oh, there's Dale trying to get up again. He became the Commodore of the Yacht Club in Old York or Toronto. But the poor son of a gun, he decided to go for a walk in the country, and he saw a bunch of cows, went over to the cows, and one of the cows turned on him, kicked him in the head, and killed him. He got killed by a cow. He could have stayed on his ship with Nelson.
Yeah. They were talking about it again. Quebec was trying to split from Canada again. That was back in 2010.
Oh, you're talking about when the Bloc was trying to get the referendum in?
Yep.
Don't worry about it. We got.
I'm reading the chat. Sorry, I just had a notification come through and kicked me off. John James, if they found you sleepwalking in the Navy, you were off the ships. Don't dig too deep. Don't dig too deep. Don't dig. The tank drivers out. We buried there. John Jacobs.
Yeah, I ended up a grunt. And do you guys do know what grunt stands for, right?
Naval.
Go ahead, try it. You don't know it?
Oh, I do know what it means, but I'm not saying it.
No, it's not. It's not in play. It's just government reject, unfit for naval training. So I ended up digging. My boom crowd bucket circuit was a shovel. Anyway.
Yep. Is it 20 minutes up yet, there, Skipper?
Skipper.
Yeah, it's getting close. Oh, yeah, I can put my 5-minute warning.
Skipper, this is from Christopher Sy. So the skipper wouldn't like serving on the Revenge class dreadnoughts then?
No, I would not. No. The closest I did do fishing in saltwater in the Bay of Fundy. But
and he served on the Mary Rose.
No, but I stood right next to the Mary Rose.
You did.
I saw the ghosts. The way they did up those holograms were pretty creepy.
Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and walked aboard the decks of the Warrior.
The Warrior is a good ship. The Victoria is a massive ship.
Yeah. If you have a chance to go to Plymouth, go to Plymouth. It's a cool place.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what was really good when I was a kid was South Sea. South Sea had all the naval ships there as well. You had Yacht Royal and many other of the battleships, cruisers. I
tell you, I was in Plymouth when your newest aircraft carrier pulled in, eh?
Which one was that? The
brand new one in 2017. It was brand spanking new. I don't even remember the name of it, but it just docked.
Queen Elizabeth II, and the
Could be.
Prince, or it's either the Prince of Wales or the Queen Elizabeth. I can't remember which one's which.
Yeah, I remember the tour guide going, "Oh, look what's pulling in," and wow, yeah, okay.
2017, I think we actually borrowed a French aircraft carrier for a while because we decommissioned the Ark Royal way after the Falklands. So and we used this French ship for a while until the new aircraft carriers were built. Yeah, it might have been the Prince of Wales. I can't remember which was built first, whether it was Elizabeth or the Prince of Wales. I'm pretty sure it might have been the Prince of Wales first. But I know we used some French aircraft carrier, I think it's like one or two on loan, which I'm actually quite surprised they let us borrow because we actually accidentally on purpose sunk their naval ships in World War II.
That was the Croissant Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
That went right over your head. I got to stop
I
telling
know
jokes.
what you meant. Yeah, the Charles de Gaulle. Yeah.
No, I said the Croissant Charles de Gaulle.
Oh, the croissant. Okay, it was made of pastry, was it?
That's right.
That's probably they sink so easy. Got so many holes in it.
Yeah, it was bloody cheesy ship.
They love croissants. I don't even like them.
Oh. Mrs. C loves them. She can't get enough of those bloody things.
Oh no.
It's gonna turn into a croissant one of these days.
Oh, you can tell Mrs. C actually Man City's playing. They're winning 3-0.
She could go to Tim Hortons and get a whole bunch of them.
And yeah, but you know what?
Homemade's better. Homemade's better.
They might be better, but getting her into a kitchen would be interesting. My wife does not.
You just made Zoe laugh, and she hiccuped at the same time.
Yeah.
I never even heard a noise like that before in my life.
There's no way my wife would do that. No.
Get her in the kitchen. Zoe just giggled and just hiccuped at the same time. I don't even know what that was.
You know what? I'm really worried when those two get together.
Oh, it's going to be tragic, isn't it? I'm going to wear chainmail, mate. I tell you, I'm going to bring over some armor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I think when they get together, you and I should head off to Austria.
Oh man, that's gonna be. Well, I don't even know what. I'll let Tracy take it down to the casino.
Oh, you better bring lots of money with you. Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. We'll be in Austria.
Actually, she doesn't spend. Yeah, that's true, and we'd be spending a lot more. But she doesn't spend a lot in the casino. But she loves sitting in front of this stupid Willy Wonka.
What?
Yeah. A glass of wine, Willy Wonka. I go, whoa, boy, that's exciting.
So I go into the betting shop now and then. I've been there for a while now, have I really? Like last time I went down, I won that bit of money, didn't I? But my friend Steve goes, "Oh, I'm in town in the betting shop today." But when Zoe was there, she put a couple of bets on and won for the first time. She was well excited, wasn't you?
Yeah.
She's like, I won. How much did you win? I think it was £1.25.
You win a lot.
I could chat with you guys all day, but I gotta go because I got that appointment to go to. So I'm gonna say
Sorry.
thank you, everybody.
Hey guys, I'm
Hey, Skip,
sorry, guys. Yeah, I gotta go too.
call me later to let me know how.
I was no problem, Skipper. Sorry if guys, if I was away from the keyboard. I was actually teaching in Argentinian English. So, yeah.
Good grief. Is that American English?
Yeah, I know. I think I'm an English teacher. Well, that American English, but that's the only one I know. Well, I know.
Thanks everyone for coming out. I'll be on again tomorrow every day. Just keep an eye out just until November 10th, and then I'm off. Yes, Gail.
Skipper, we're
All
going
right,
to
I'll
play
see ya.
online in one this week. Yeah, you take care, history man. Nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a game of crib online again.
See you later.
That was interesting.
Yeah, guaranteed. We can do crib again. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay. Oh, so bye, Kerry. I don't know if you can still hear me. Thanks for the show, says John Jacobs. Bye, everybody.